Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News 9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi and you're watching the special broadcast of Game On, your one-stop destination for all things sports here on News 9 Live. Ladies and gentlemen, on the show today, it's a do or die for India's women's T20 team as they face Sri Lanka in a must-win showdown. Will they secure victory and overcome the net run rate pressure to stay in the hunt for the World Cup? Well, tune in to find out. Meanwhile, India's men's cricket team is fired up and ready to steal the series here in the national capital. Can they put the Bangladeshi Tigers to rest in the second T20 international? Well, we'll find out. But that's not all. We've also got your global football fix covered as well. Catch all the big headlines and, of course, the top 5 goals from Bundesliga's match day 6. So strap in because it's game on. Let's dive straight into the action. Well, now, India will take on Sri Lanka in what is a must-win game for them if they want to avoid depending on other teams to qualify for the knockout stage of the Women's T20 World Cup. India managed to get their campaign back on track by beating Pakistan by a margin of 6 wickets after losing to New Zealand in the tournament's opener. Now, the good news going into their Dubai match is that skipper Harmanpreet is completely fit. Harman had retired hurt in the previous game due to discomfort in her neck during India's 6-wicket win over Pakistan. India vice-captain Smriti Mandhana said that skipper Harmanpreet Kaur is fit and she will be leading the side against Sri Lanka in the Women's T20 World Cup. Harmanpreet had walked off the field when she was batting on 29 runs. India won that game by 6 wickets but still face early elimination from the tournament following the loss to New Zealand in their tournament opener. However, there is still no clarity over the fitness status of all-rounder Pooja Vastrakar, who missed the Pakistan game as well. This is what Smriti Mandhana said about Harman and Pooja, both of them. Take a look, and I quote, "She, of course, talking about Harman, is doing fine and she will be fine for tomorrow. Pooja, I think the medical team is still working on her, so the update will come only tomorrow during the match. But yeah, I don't think I can say anything at the moment at this point in time." A little confident about Harman, not so confident about Pooja. Now, Smriti Mandhana, the best batter in the side, has failed to get going thus far on the slow wickets of the UAE, where stroke making has proved to be extremely tough. India have a dominant record, however, against Sri Lanka, as is the case with almost all Asian teams. They lead the head-to-head 19 games to 5 games, with both sides having faced each other for the first time in the format at the 2009 Women's T20 World Cup. However, the latest of those victories for Sri Lanka came in the last match between the two sides, which was in the final of the Women's Asia Cup in July this year itself. India had lost that match by a stunning 8 wickets as Sri Lanka ended their reign in the tournament. They are yet to play Australia, and their hopes of making the semi-finals hang by a thread. India chased down 106 runs in 18.5 overs against Pakistan, mindful of the run rate factor in the business end of the tournament. Smriti also admitted that there are concerns about the net run rate and conditions in the UAE. She said, and I quote, "It definitely was the last match, but as I said, the conditions are a lot different to what you expect as a batter, so you're probably thinking to get that run rate high, and also you firstly have to win the match first, and that's the first priority for everybody. Definitely the wicket condition, the ground conditions are a lot different to what we thought when we came here. That also is a big consideration in deciding the batting order," is what Harman had to say. Meanwhile, on a sticky wicket, after a mixed start to the campaign, India is now going to look to fix their batting woes to bolster their net run rate as well. Big match that's coming up in the T20 Women's World Cup. Meanwhile, on the other side, India's men's team will take on Bangladesh at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi today with the determination to completely wrap up the 3-match T20 international series. India have, mind you, dominated in all departments during the first match at Gwalior, and there appears to be no threat to Suryakumar Yadav and his men to rewrite the script under the lights at Firozshah Kotla ground. Traditionally speaking, Bangladeshis have been no match to the men in blue on the Indian soil. In the 15 T20 international home games against Bangladesh, India have been winners on 14 occasions. Speaking of the team's form in this format in recent times, the hosts have won all their last 5 encounters. On the other hand, the Najmul Hussain Shanto-led side have won only 1 game out of their last 5 matches. So even without key players such as Rishabh Pant, Akshar Patel and Jasprit Bumrah, India have shown a remarkable depth in white ball cricket during the comfortable 7-wicket victory in the opening game that took place in Gwalior. Sanju Samson, who was confirmed by Surya Kumar as an opener for the series, made the most of the opportunity as regular wicketkeeper Rishabh Pant has been rested for the series. In the series opener in Gwalior, the keeper batter Sanju Samson, who usually comes in the middle order, revelled in his new role as an opener and played some delightful strokes in his 19 ball 29 runs, showcasing his ability to play freely in the power play overs. With the first choice openers Yashasvi Jaiswal and Shubman Gill rested for this series, both Samson and Abhishek Sharma would be certainly keen to prove that they can go beyond the mere cameos that you see. The duo would look to seize this opportunity here and get a big score today in front of what is likely to be a sellout crowd in the national capital. The hosts are unlikely to tinker with their playing 11 after everything went their way in the opener. However, speaking to media on the eve of the match, Arshdeep did not disclose much about the 11. He said, and I quote, take a look at this, "We will come tomorrow and assess the conditions and make plans accordingly. The coach and captain will check the wicket and tell us what the plan is going to be." That's what Arshdeep had to say. Meanwhile, debutant Mayank Yadav, he dazzled with his fiery pace as well, whilst fellow first-timer Nitish Kumar Reddy made a mark as a seam bowling all-rounder, a rarity in Indian cricket. Arshdeep Singh capably led the pace attack, and mystery spinner Varun Chakravarti made a striking comeback after staying away from the national team for almost about 3 years. The Bangladesh bowlers have the ability to spice up things, but against India's formidable lineup, they would need plenty of runs on the board to make it a concerning issue for the men in blues. Meanwhile, take a look at this. Senior batter Kane Williamson, he will miss the initial part of the upcoming 3-test series in India due to a groin strain. New Zealand have named Mark Chapman as his cover in the 17-man squad for the series, which gets underway in Bengaluru on the 16th of October. Now, Kane Williamson, who is dealing with a groin strain, will delay his departure to India, where New Zealand are slated to play 3 tests at Bengaluru, Pune and Mumbai. Take a look at what Williamson had to say. Williamson experienced groin discomfort during the second test against Sri Lanka in Gale and will require a period of rehabilitation before joining the Black Caps test squad in India, according to New Zealand Cricket Board, which said the same on their website. Now, New Zealand selector Sam Wells, he said that the decision to delay Williamson's departure to India was to give the former skipper more time to rest, and that's important to take a look at as well. The advice we've received is that the best course of action is for Kane to rest and rehabilitate now, rather than risk aggravating the groin injury. We're hopeful that if the rehabilitation goes to plan, Kane Williamson will be available for the latter part of the tour in India. While it's obviously disappointing to not have Kane Williamson available right from the start of the tour, it does provide an opportunity for someone else to play a role in an important series. Now, it's also again interesting to look at Tom Latham, who will be leading the Kiwis after Tim Southee stepped aside from the leadership role just a few days ago. Now, while the opening test will be played at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium from the 16th of October till the 20th, the second will be held at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Gahunje in Pune from October 24th to the 28th, and the third and final test will be played at the iconic Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai from the 1st to the 5th of November. Moving on, Germany are taking their Nations League football matches quite seriously, and captain Joshua Kimmich has said that the team is using it as an opportunity to, well, bond and grow together. Germany are preparing to take on Bosnia and Herzegovina on Friday and the Netherlands on Monday then on. Germany will be missing several players for the 2 matches due to injuries, including goalkeeper Marc-Andre ter Stegen and forward Kai Havertz, whilst midfielder David Raum had to leave the training camp after also suffering an injury. Captain Joshua Kimmich said that they would be hoping the new faces in the team to have the energy and hunger to help them out. He also said that the team will try to put it together in the best possible way in the 2 games that are coming up. Germany currently lead their Nations League group in the competition on 4 points, same as the Netherlands, but have a better goal difference at this point in time. And even as we're talking about the Nations League, we must have to talk about Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo. The marksmen and Portugal both hit the training pitch yesterday to gear up for the upcoming Nations League fixtures against Poland and Scotland respectively. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo has reunited with the Portugal national football team for the upcoming matches. Portugal's top Group A1 with 6 points from the 2 matches. They're sitting quite comfortably at this point in time, and they will travel to Warsaw to face Poland on Saturday and then head to Glasgow, where they'll take on Scotland at Hampden Park on Tuesday next week. Now, midfielder João Neves, he said that they're expecting 2 tough matches and that they'll give it their best and their all to qualify for the next phase of the European competition. Portugal have won all of their UEFA Nations League matches this season. Ronaldo has completed 900 career goals, mind you, when he scored for Portugal in Nations League match against Croatia. Moving on, former Barcelona and Spain midfielder Andres Iniesta announced his retirement on Tuesday after a glittering, trophy-laden career spanning more than 2 decades, 24 years to be precise. Now, the 40-year-old was at the heart of the Spain and Barcelona midfield during a period of sustained success for both teams in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, beg your pardon. Now, please allow me to be a little emotional today, is what a tearful Iniesta said, who most recently played for Emirates club in the United Arab Emirates when he was speaking to the press at a conference. The technically gifted Iniesta made 131 appearances for Spain, scoring the only goal of the 2010 World Cup final with a last gasp strike to earn his country victory over the Netherlands as they lifted the global title for the first time. He also played a key role in the Spain national team winning the 2008 European Championship to snap a 44-year trophy drought, and was named player of the tournament when they successfully defended the title again after winning the World Cup and then again defending the title back in 2012. Iniesta joined Barcelona's La Masia Youth Academy at just 12 years old and made 674 appearances for the Spanish giant, captaining them for 3 seasons altogether. A year before becoming Spain's World Cup final hero, Andres Iniesta worked his magic in the Champions League semi-final against Chelsea as well. His brilliant shot deep in added time secured Barcelona a place in the final, and they went on to lift the trophy that year. Didier Drogba's controversial comments from the Chelsea side, if you remember. And Pep Guardiola's first European Cup triumph as a coach happened because Andres Iniesta was right there in the midfield of the Barcelona team. Iniesta won 9 La Liga titles with Barcelona, 4 Champions League titles, 6 Copa del Rey crowns, 2 UEFA Super Cups and 3 FIFA World Cup titles, many of them alongside Xavi Hernandez, a rival for the accolade of being described as the best Spanish footballer of all time. Imagine that team, Xavi and Iniesta right in the middle of your midfield team. Nothing short than a footballing dream. Listen into what Andres Iniesta had to say.
I suppose you will allow me to get emotional today. I never thought this day would come. I really never imagined it. These are tears of emotion, of pride. They are not tears of sadness. They are tears of that child from Fuensalida, who had the dream of being a soccer player, and I achieved it. I would like to come back to Barca at some point in my life. I'm not just saying that, but I think the people who have spent so many years at this club, in one way or another, have to be there. But the conditions have to be right. When I feel like I can do what I did as a player in another role at the club, if the circumstances are right and everything, I'd be happy to do so.
Well, sticking to global football news, German coach Jurgen Klopp, he has been appointed as the head of the global soccer for Red Bull in his first job since leaving as the coach of Liverpool earlier this year. Now, owners of several clubs, including RB Leipzig and New York Red Bulls, Red Bull have confirmed the appointment. Now, Jurgen Klopp ended his successful 9-year stint with Liverpool at the end of last season, and he will be starting the new job on the 1st of January 2025, just next year. The 57-year-old joined Liverpool back in October 2015 and has since won the Champions League, their first English league title since 1990, the Club World Cup, FA Cup, League Cup and the Super Cup, as well as the Community Shield during his time in charge at Anfield. Now, Jurgen Klopp, who also led Dortmund to 2 Bundesliga titles, a German Cup and a Champions League final back in 2013. Of course, they lost to Bayern Munich. Arjen Robben and Frank Ribery doing the trick for Bayern Munich. He had announced in January that he would be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Jurgen Klopp will not be involved in the day-to-day operations of the Red Bull-owned clubs in Germany, United States, Brazil and Australia. That's also something that the company has clarified. They've come out and confirmed. But Jurgen Klopp will also support the organization's global scouting operations, another important aspect when you're talking about grassroots footballing careers, and contribute to the training and development of coaches. Some German media reported in his Red Bull contract included an exit clause for the post of German national team coach. So if the German national team does come knocking, he has an exit clause already ready. Jurgen Klopp has long been linked to that job, especially after his successful stint at Liverpool, and of course with Germany struggling right now to make an impact on the international stage in the past decade, Klopp seems to be the name everybody is looking for. Jurgen Klopp, in a statement about his assignment, has said, and I quote, "After almost 25 years on the sideline, I could not be more excited to get involved in a project like this. The current role that he's got now with a Red Bull may have changed, but my passion for football and the people who make the game what it is has not changed at all. I see my role primarily as a mentor for the coaches and management of the Red Bull clubs, but ultimately I am one part of an organization that is unique, innovative and forward-looking. As I said, this could not excite me more." Jurgen Klopp, ladies and gentlemen, that's what he said. But sticking to football again, ladies and gentlemen, this time an interesting development. A soccer team consisting entirely of transgender men has made its debut in a regional league in Spain, overcoming administrative challenges and prejudice to become the first all-transgender squad to achieve federated status in Europe. Here's a complete report. Take a look.
This is Spain's Phoenix FC, a team consisting entirely of transgender men. Named after the mythical bird symbolizing rebirth, it's the first all-trans squad with federated status in Europe. Players say the journey here hasn't been easy. 24-year-old Hugo Martinez founded the team. He says he faced abuse when he began transitioning and was forced to leave the women's team he played on.
I was a boy playing in the girls' team, but without a changed ID. Then, I couldn't play even with the boys, and they, the people on the stands, the parents, the other players, the other coaches, well, they said things that they didn't have to say. Insults, threats.
The team made its debut in the 5th tier in Spain's northwestern region of Catalonia in September, after being incorporated into a local club in a Barcelona suburb. 19-year-old Luke Ibanez is the team's captain. Ibanez jumped at the opportunity to play for an all-trans side when team founder Martinez told him about the idea.
We were afraid of playing with cis men. We thought we would not fit, or that it would be too violent. Many things passed through our minds. We did not know what to do to continue playing soccer.
La ley trans es ley.
Spain passed a pioneering transgender rights bill last year that is meant to make changing a person's legal gender identity easier. But intolerance persists. In 2023, Catalonia's Observatory Against LGBT Phobia noted 302 cases of discrimination or violence against LGBT people in the region, a record. A quarter of those cases targeted transgender victims. For its part, the Catalan FA said its men's leagues have been mixed for the past 2 seasons. That means players of any gender can play, regardless of their official identity. Players are not required to use their legal name either. That's not always the case in other regional FAs or sports. Phoenix lost its first game of the season, 19-0. But Captain Ibanez says the team's significance extends beyond the scoreboard.
Phoenix is a team of trans boys created entirely by trans boys. But I think it's more than that. A family, a safe space. A space where you can be free and express yourself however you want and how you really feel.
Well, progressive football coming out of a Barcelona suburb, and with progressive, I don't mean their playing style. Well, we're running out of time here, but we don't want you to miss out on the Bundesliga Matchday 6 top 5 goals, from stunning volleys to incredible solo runs. This week's finest moments are packed with thrilling finishes that will leave you in awe. Whether it's a last-minute rocket or a skillful strike, these goals highlight the best of Bundesliga's attacking flair. We leave you with the top 5 goals of Matchday 6. Thanks for watching. Do relive the magic and check out the top goals that defined Matchday 6 of Bundesliga. Thanks for watching.
Maximilian Arnold then to deliver this corner, which is cleared, but only as far as Amora, who controls the return, and Vince swivels and scores. How about that for balance and reaction? Right over the head of Medic.
Movina. Oh, the keeper's come for it, but not got it. Jonathan Burkhardt underneath it. A terrible goalkeeping mistake, but a 6th consecutive away game goal for Jonathan Burkhardt.
Still Bayern dominate in this second half. It's Guerrero. Neat touch by Kane. Michael Olise. Olise! A wonderful goal for Bayern! And this roller coaster ride takes another twist. And less than 10 minutes into the second half, Bayern lead once more.
Towards half-time. Up but not really away. It's all a bit of a mess! Smashed in by Jorba Vertessen. His first league goal of the season. Beautifully struck. Still got lots of big targets to aim for. He's done well to get the ball in. It's only half away. A centre-forwards finish from a centre-back. Kevin Schlotterbeck with a stunner. Extraordinary hits.
I'm Payal Nath, the CEO and director of Kadam Heart. We're working with people, we're working with emotions, we're working with hands, we're working with nature.
We are very clear, we want to commit to livelihoods. We want to commit to the planet. We want to impact 1 million artisans, which is 1 million families minimum.
Be the change that you want to see.
This and more. Streaming on News9 plus news is now content. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
Cooking is an act of love. The first act of love we receive from our mothers in the families.
Modern Indian food is all about contemporary and innovative approach to traditional Indian cooking.
The presentation it's also important, no?
I want to wear this white coat every day and then be a chef.
There are stories. If the name of whiskey is Indri, then there is a whole story behind that.
Cooking food is like a therapy, and eating one is like a pleasure I can give it to myself. With Lounge Nights, I'm on a journey to celebrate and recognize the best food and nightlife establishments in various cities across India.
Radical presents Lounge Nights every Saturday and Sunday only on News9 Live.
Arnold then to deliver this corner, which is cleared, but only as far as Amora, who controls the return, and Vince swivels and scores. How about that for balance and reaction right over the head?